DFI service on Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal. In this video, we'll showcase the abilities of the Digital Footprint Intelligence service and how to use them via Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal. What is DFI? We'll start by describing the Digital Footprint Intelligence (DFI) service, what it is, and what data can be obtained by using it. Kaspersky DFI is a comprehensive digital risk protection service that helps customers to monitor their digital assets and detect threats from the surface, deep, and dark webs. We can divide all the potential threats it covers into four main groups. Threats on the external network perimeter. Here we identify the customer's network resources and exposed services that are a potential entry point for an attack. This includes vulnerable and misconfigured services, as well as resources known to be compromised. This information is obtained from public databases of compromised websites. The second group is malware-related threats. Using Kaspersky's internal systems and knowledge base, as well as public sources, we provide information on phishing websites, signs of botnet activity, signs of targeted attacks, and APT campaigns that could target your company. We also constantly monitor dozens of dark web resources, forums, ransomware blogs, messengers, Tor sites, etc. to detect any references and threats relating to your company, customers, and partners. As a result, we can obtain information on used fraud schemes, cybercriminals' activities, or plans directed at your company, industry, or even region of operation. We also analyze logs from different data stealers published on private darknet resources, which frequently contain stolen credit cards or compromised accounts, including corporate ones, that users input in different applications or websites using devices that have been infected. Finally, we move to the last but not the least category of threats: data leakages. We find compromised employee credentials, partner and customer credentials, bank cards, phone numbers, and other sensitive information that can be used to carry out an attack or threaten your company's reputation. We'd also like to point out that you can use the Kaspersky Takedown service for phishing and malware domains, for fake social networks accounts, and apps in mobile marketplaces. 10 takedown requests per year are included in the subscription to the DFI service. You can register these requests through your Kaspersky company account on the corporate customer support portal, companyaccount.kaspersky.com. The Digital Footprint Intelligence service comprises 3 steps. Firstly, the customer provides our analysts with a list of the company's digital assets, or DFI analysts conduct the initial recon. This list usually includes IP addresses, public domains, brand names, names of key employees, e.g. top managers, and other important keywords and information. Secondly, DFI analysts augment this list with additional data which may improve or affect the results of threat monitoring before analyzing all potential threats and setting up rules for further automatic searches. And finally, you'll receive alerts, we call them notifications, on threats in real time. For commercial purchases, we also prepare analytical reports with an executive summary and detailed technical results, as well as machine-readable threat intelligence. You can receive notifications and reports by using the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal web interface, API methods, or via email. In this video, we'll show you how to work with the DFI service in the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal. On the left side of the home page of the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence Portal, you can see the section Digital Footprint. It has 2 subsections, Threats and Asset Management. On the first page, Threats, you can see all notifications about threats related to your organization and analytical reports, and the second one, Asset Management, is where you can add, change, or remove your digital assets which you send to Kaspersky. It's where you can adjust whether or not you want to obtain information on related threats. So let's move to the Threats subsection of the Digital Footprint section. At the top of the page, you can see the statistics on threat notifications, the total number of detected threats, their risk level, and top 5 types. Below the statistics, you can see the detailed table of notifications. You can work with notifications directly on the web interface, or you can download the full list in CSV format using the Expert Results button. When you press Expert Results, a threats.zip archive with a dfi.threats.csv file is created and downloaded. For each notification, the following data is displayed: date when the notification was detected or created, risk level, critical, high, medium, low, informational, threat category, object for which the threat was discovered. This could be a digital asset created by yourself, domain, IP address, keyword, etc., or extra objects created by a DFI analyst during analysis, subdomain, search query created based on other keywords, etc. Threat identifier, ID, which is a unique parameter of each threat notification. Tap the ID to copy it or to view the threat in a new tab. The next field contains a detailed threat description and recommendations on how to mitigate associated risks. You can expand or collapse the description and recommendations for better viewing. Then there are tags associated with the threat, e.g. the threat name according to Kaspersky's classification, common vulnerabilities and exposures, CVE, or keywords. And some additional information as an encrypted archive, if available. It could contain a JSON file with metadata of a revealed attack, screenshots in PNG format, or HTML pages of a phishing website. Note that the archive may contain objects that could harm your device or data if handled improperly. By downloading it, you agree that you are informed and accept full responsibility for the handling of downloaded objects contained in the archive. You can only use the downloaded content to increase the level of protection of your devices and systems. What is the easiest and most efficient way to work with the list of threat notifications? Previously, we've shown that you can download all threats in a machine-readable JSON format. Now, let's see how you can do it manually using the web interface. You can use filters to refine the displayed threat notifications. This is an important feature when there are hundreds of threat notifications. Using filters, you can set up the date period, choose interested risk levels, categories, objects, or tags. If you definitely know what notifications you are looking for, you can use the full text search available at the top of each page on the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence portal. The notifications, which name or description suits a query, will be displayed in the digital footprint page. So, the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence portal's user interface provides several quick and easy ways to analyze and search threat notifications, even if there are hundreds of them. You may have noticed that there is one more subpage on the Threats subsection, one named Reports. As the name suggests, this is where you can find digital footprint intelligence reports in PDF format and attached Excel files or other documents that were prepared by DFI analysts. The fields of the table with all files created by Kaspersky specialists and sent to the Threat Intelligence portal include the date the file was created, the file name with a brief description of its contents, and the time period for which available data was included in this report analysis, e.g. month, quarter, half a year, etc. You can also filter reports by creation date. Like filtration of threat notifications, you can set up the required date period. To download files, just tap on the action word Download on the last column. You can see the file format when pointing to the link. Now, let's move to the Assets Management subsection of Digital Footprint. Here you can customize objects, we call them assets, that belong to or are related to your company. Then, Kaspersky DFI analysts will analyze, validate, and if validation is successful, add them to threat monitoring. You can add an asset in two ways. Manually, by creating one asset at a time, tapping plus add asset. You can also upload a list of assets separated with new lines as a file by tapping Upload Asset List. In this case, Kaspersky analysts will parse the list on their side. If you purchased a subscription for the DFI service and/or reports, DFI analysts can collect the network perimeter of your company themselves, and you can check the added objects and correct the scope used for threat monitoring if necessary. So let's see how assets can be created via the user interface. To create an asset, select its category from the drop-down list. Using the available values, you can add network ranges, categories CIDR or IP range depending on the network format, domain names, category domain, IP addresses, category IPv4 or v6, email addresses as email, company or brand name, name of your employee, usually top managers or other key people of your company, other keywords related to your company or brand. BIN is used to find information on leaked banking cards of your customers if your company is a bank. You can also create assets in account link or mobile app link categories. They should be links to actual legitimate pages of the official corporate accounts on social networks, including links to personal accounts of your top managers or links to the official mobile applications. You can also assign an excluding role in threat monitoring by selecting the checkbox. This option excludes threats related to the defined assets from the monitoring results, if you do not want to receive notifications about this asset. You can find more information about assets and asset management in the Help section of the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence portal. We will create several assets for the most common categories: domains, company name as a keyword, and IP addresses. Firstly, let's add the domain name demo.domain.com. After submitting it for validation, it appears in the list of assets. For each asset, the following data is displayed: the object itself, asset category, its status, pending validation, confirmed or rejected, is a result of asset validation by Kaspersky analysts. Role in the monitoring. As we mentioned previously, role include is set by default, but you can exclude some assets if you want to. By tapping on the asset, you can open the Edit Asset sidebar and edit its role in the monitoring. However, this asset parameter can only be changed if it has a confirmed status. Status Details field contains comments on confirmed or rejected status of assets, which can be added by Kaspersky analysts within the validation. The Source field shows information on how the asset was created. Through the user interface on the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence portal, value is submitted by user, or by Kaspersky analysts. Value is submitted by experts. Let's also add the network range 4000, 400255, and test company as company brand name asset. Later, when a Kaspersky analyst validates the assets, their status will change. We'll wait for it. While waiting, let's talk about process of assets validation. Once you add an asset or change its role, it is sent for validation to Kaspersky analysts. They check if the assets are specified correctly and are related to your company. Validation of each asset can take up to 5 business days. If the asset is approved, it is given a confirmed status and added for threat monitoring. Incidentally, for confirmed assets of domain category, the following objects will be also added to monitoring: all subdomains of created domains, so there is no need to